Hiya, it's Xavier and welcome to my Bonsai Retreat, and something a bit different today. We're going to have a little look at some of these different species, hazel, sycamore, all sorts of various things that have either been planted up in nursery beds and left for a few years, or indeed are cuttings that are now ready to transfer and start their bonsai journey, normally by hacking the roots. So let's crack on and do that, and the first one I want to look at is this great big hazel. Let's go, shall we? Now this actually was a part of a group of trees that actually Dawn Isaac passed my way a few years back. Just thought I might want to muck about with it. Yeah, it's been in that little growing bed for a while. Take some obvious stuff away straight away. It's not going to be done as a mame or anything like that. We've got two branches, this branch here, this branch here. We've actually got quite a good branch structure already. Here, there are buds either side. And I could actually just do this, take them back there. The only difficulty is on this one here, absolutely no buds on that length. I don't know how they back bud, so I'm going to watch, but there's a swelling there which could be useful. So let's just cut that there. That branch may get removed in the end. So we've got two buds there, and you'll notice what I'm going to do here is basically two buds either side there. We've got a bud there and a bud there. We won't want that one, but that may be useful. So here, right up here, we've got a bud there and a bud there. Ideal, so we'll cut back to those. Now there is actually a little bud point just there, so let's try and get it. Don't want that upward one. Obviously we've got too much here, so I would imagine we can easily cut back to these ones here. Get rid of that one, we've got a bud behind it, we've got this point there. That's a small one there actually, but we won't have it. Get rid of that. Little bud behind it, so we'll get rid of the main bud that's opening. Little bud in the crotch, we'll rub that out. We've got little buds there and also there, so we'll go back to that. And there, we'll just take that back there. Absolutely no taper there, so we'll take that off. Bobcat root rake. Now I've got no intention of sawing down the middle on this one. This will be quite easy to work out what's going on. Little sucker there, we won't want that. But I do want to be just a little bit careful about potentially what roots I have got available to me here. This is the first time I've seen them, and like all first dates, you want to get it right, don't you? Looks like I've got a good radial spread of roots, so that's encouraging. Okay, I've got a big knob somewhere here, so I need to get that knob out. There are some big heavy roots here, but I don't yet know where the actual root base starts from. This great big heavy root here, just coming all the way around, so that must have been the main tap root there, so I think we'll remove that. Okay, and we've definitely got some roots up the top here, so I'm happy that that's going to be the root plane. So I am going to now systematically remove everything that's lower than that. Okay, so we've removed that great big tumble there. And what we're left with is that, which very, very encouraging that is. Now I won't take any more than that. Now in previous lives I would have put that into a plastic bonsai, a plastic training pot, one of those rectangular ones or an oval. Probably would have been fine. But as you know, I've gone pond basket crazy this year, so 2024 is the year of the pond basket. Now yes, I'm using a load of this, what is relatively expensive topsoil, but because I've removed pretty well the peat and organic compost aspect of it, apart from the pine bark, I will be reusing this every year, and I'm setting up an area where I can do that. So hopefully this will become quite sustainable. Still got last year's pile of bonsai soil waiting to be sieved and all that. Never did do that. I think with the cost of this I will do though from now on. That's that one in. We'll water it and then see if we can get the sun to move somewhere else, because I must be looking like some halo right now. What should we look at next? Let's have something different, shall we? A couple of years ago I tried to do some cuttings off holly and planted them. I've left them out in these for a couple of years, and you'd be surprised. I did a little bit of clip and grow on them, but we've actually got a bit of movement. Do you want to see it? Nice root structure there, but I don't know how well you can see that, but I think that is some pretty spectacular movement. So I'm going to do something relatively straightforward. Cut that off. Cut that off. All I'm doing is just clearing it out so we can see what's in there. I have no idea how holly will do as a bonsai, but I had a girlfriend called Holly once. She was okay. Tease these roots out. Just see what sort of root base we're likely to get. As I say, took this. Oh, there's a big horizontal thing I'm not happy about, but it's quite fine fibrous roots. I know holly does tend to grow, like, grows a bit like weed, you know. Holly grows up everywhere. Got some fine stuff here. I've got a couple of big roots there. Okay, well, I'm looking at that. I may actually take that bit off. This is just a bit of fun. Okay, so it goes downwards, so I need to reduce here. Try and get this flat. Okay, so at least now it sits flat. I'm not sure how much of these big ones I can take off, so I'm going to just take off just the ends of them. I have a feeling they'll probably grow okay, to be honest. I've got this big thick one here which I really don't like, but I don't think I've got, until I know how roots react, I'm not yet willing to take that big one off. That's what we've got. Need to plant that somewhere. In fact, let's take that back a bit further, and that a bit further, cut that a bit further.
What's a butcher? Always a butcher.
I have a feeling I could probably cut that. Anyone who's done holly, let me know in the comments. That's interesting, that. And again, the idea of using the pond basket, I want to develop a really, really healthy round root structure. But equally, I could probably just easily put it in this lovely Dawn Isaac ceramic. Now, as you all know, my particular fancy with big leaf or unusual size leaf specimens is they're the ones that I try and mame. One leaf will represent one whole branch, so that's what we're going to do with this. Okay, so that's holly. Be very interested to see how that responds. The next one is an old favourite of mine. You know, I've got a couple of Buddleia, but this was a cutting, and again, sometimes you can get some really great movement. So I'm looking at the movement that's on this one, and apart from the fact that it's infested with bugs, I'm going to clear it right out and see what we've got. Now, Buddleia I find very, very easy to work. I quite like the movement on that. Let's just clear away all the great big taproot at the bottom. Get rid of that. Potentially that could go that way, but or that one. Not sure about this one up the middle. Let's just cut that off. And the good thing, anyone who's worked with Buddleia, they bud back better. They're really good. So it's always a bit early to really be styling it. I think there is what we're looking at. Very interesting curly whirly base there. And this is the fun with cuttings. You never quite know what you're going to get. Now you're not going to get your classic Trident Maple spread or anything like that, and I wouldn't even pretend to try with these. This great big one up here, so it's about interest. Look at that. That is incredible. I'm not going to play around with too much of that, but that's absolutely awesome. Right, straight to a pond basket. I'm not going to muck around with what's in there right now. There's little roots there, but I know they can be a little bit funny sometimes. That root base is absolutely incredible. And I love the movement, but hey, I love that. So let's just carefully dunk a load of soil in. Now those roots are quite fine, I can tell that. So we're going to be carefully working that all in. And the worst thing that can happen with this is
it dies.
So long the roots are healthy, these things just keep on budding. This will be an interesting one. Only just for that very, very unique root system. So that's a little Buddleia cutting. Again, cost me nothing. Now I've also reached the point where a lot of the Trident Maple cuttings that I've taken over the last few years, they're all starting to move on to time for better soil. But some really, really interesting shapes in there. But you've seen loads of Trident. In fact, I might let you see that. In fact, you've seen loads of Trident, so we won't worry about that. I might show you what they look like afterwards. But we have got some interesting stuff. I'm not quite sure what they are. Tell you what, let's just do one of the Tridents. Now, this is very interesting, and we've got this big long taproot that's developed, but it looks like we've got a sort of reasonably smooth set of roots there, so let's get rid of that. Taking off this whole plethora of roots, which has allowed us to go a little bit more flatter on it. Bring it back in. It's quite a nice collection of roots on here, and this is definitely just, this is a branch cutting off one of my bigger maples. Got two levels here. This root's actually coming underneath, but I haven't got anything else there right now, so we'll leave that for now. I want to leave it with some roots. Okay, well, that's what we've got. Some incredible movement in there. Got to decide now where we're going with it. But if the potting angle is going to be like that, really we get rid of that one there. So we follow up there. Not really sure about that. I think that is the right movement there. We don't want that little one in there. I've got two here, so let's take this back to there. I actually want those buds there, so we'll do that. Okay, let's get that in some soil. Right now I will just poke those in soil wherever. I won't even put rooting hormone, I'll just put them in soil. I'm sure they'll be fine. Very, very interesting. We'll see what happens with that. I got a little bit chop happy, and it's now just a single leader, which makes an awful lot more sense. Keep building that up, keep chopping it back, and lots of little buds will come from lower here. And as I say, I don't expect to be much bigger than this, but this year I want to let that really grow out high, and then I'll cut it back down in the autumn time and see what sort of size trunk we get on that, because at the moment I would imagine under a centimetre. Let's see what it's like at the end of the year. Well, the next one I'm going to entertain you with is this silver birch. Originally it's a great big long stick. Well, hey, a lot of my trees are big long sticks, and it's growing up nicely there, and probably 2 years ago I'd have got rid of all this base growth and concentrated on this. Do you know what I'm going to do? Of course you do. I reckon I'm going to get a clump down there. So I've cut it right back. I will put some cut paste on there and see how these grow. See what the soil's like. Definitely a much nicer soil mix. Probably potted this up last year actually, but sometimes, great big root there, okay. Right, I'm going to clear the roots off and then show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, well there is a whacking load of roots on this. So I am literally just going to cut them down a bit. A load of crossing stuff there I don't really want. Got this great big root thing there that was growing. Okay, now what should we put it in? Can you guess what I'm going to put it in? No, you can't. Go on then. Pond basket? No, I want to put something in a little bonsai dish. Yes, if I wanted great development, if I wanted it to be really fantastic, pond basket's probably the thing, or something bigger. But I actually like to produce something that maybe vaguely like a bonsai thing. And I think that's one thing we should all try and remember is we've got all these lovely pots. No, we haven't all been blessed with completed trees that we can put them in. But what's wrong with putting some of our developing material in there? I know, from the observant amongst you, you will have noticed that it's not wired down. I didn't wire a screen in, so not another bonsai. You're quite right. Sometimes, Gav, we can just chuck them in there. And I know there's many out there, Kenneth, Nigel, who are also quite happy just to place them in. So even though I normally do it, I don't have to. I'll put that somewhere in a corner though, so the birds don't upend it. But it's also got quite a broad base, and it's in there quite deep. Could I do any pruning on it? Well, I could actually. There's buds coming out from different places, which I quite like the look of. There, I want it to go out that way, and why not? We'll do that. Okay. An even smaller silver birch clump. I do amaze myself.
Low expectations?
Now, last one I want to look at. I'm really not sure what it is, to be honest. I thought it was Italian alder, but it's even got some glass in it. It's nice. I'm not sure whether it could be Hazel again. Don't know. Pretty know when the leaves open up. If anyone can tell me now based on that, please let me know in the comments. But it's been growing down there, down the bottom of the garden for a while. I've lost my stick. Oh, there it is. And this is the other fun thing about developing bonsai. When you've got these cuttings or these nursery style plants that you've really got no idea what you're getting, but they come and surprise you. Again, this is going to be a very interesting root setup. This is what we call Neagari. I could probably plant it quite high, and I can imagine that I'll be cutting all this off pretty quickly actually. But yeah, it's interesting. I can already see a cut that needs to be made. It's a nice bud under there, so let's get rid of this here. There's loads, there's just buds all over these things. I'll show you in a sec. Interesting. I wonder, what I'll do is just do that. They're all just going downwards, so get rid of that heavy one there. There's a taproot there. Cutting more and more away each time, aren't I? But this one here, I'm quite happy to have it doing this, but I just want to observe how the roots work. Get rid of some obvious straight ones. Okay, that's what we're going to use. if you look here, here, that's why I think Italian alder, because they bud from so many, all these junctions, just buds everywhere. So I could really take this right back. If you look here, that's quite a straight, there's no taper there. Although it's some interesting movement, I'm tempted to actually remove it here. I'm wondering whether I actually try and do some sort of semi-cascade like that. Might try that. So what we'll do is we'll remove that. I'm going to put it in like that. Now I know loads of things like this you can just find out in nature, just between pavement cracks.
I'm missing out the cracks in the pavement.
There you go. I mean, it's not classic semi-cascade, but there's some interesting movement there. Just seal that lump there. Okay, well, didn't know I was going to go that way with it, and again, this is fun. Have some fun. These are cuttings, they're young saplings. Use your imagination. Even I've got one. Not sure it's any good, but I like the way it's coming up and then back down again. I'm going to do some pruning on this because there's loads of buds in close. So you're going to watch me now totally and utterly destroy it. I'll put some sealant there. So we've got something there. Don't want that one there or there. Could remove this. I'll remove that one, the one that's going up. Absolutely love it. That's how it looks from that side. I'm not sure. Probably because that's got the wound. That'll be the back. I'm really quite happy with that. So yeah, lots of fun with various different varieties of plants, all making their way to the world of bonsai via the Bonsai Retreat. So hopefully you've enjoyed that ramble through my my less promising stock. I think there's some pretty interesting things. I'll be very intrigued to see how the holly goes. We all know how silver birch work and Trident Maple. Got the Hazel there. That's looking promising. And this, and I'm really not sure what it is actually. Don't think it's Hazel. Anyway, I'm sure we'll find out as it develops and the leaves grow. But got the Buddleia as well, which has got that very, very interesting root base. But just remember, bonsai's fun. Enjoy it. So if you've enjoyed this, big thumbs up. And if I've misidentified any of those, well, if you know my channel, you know that happens all the time. If you think anyone else will enjoy some of these different species or will have comments to make, then please share it on social media or anywhere else that you can push this to, because that helps me. And if that helps me, that gives me a big grin. Please subscribe. But apart from that, happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers.